Welcome to BooTube, where the unseen becomes the unforgettable. Tonight, we uncover a tale of curiosity gone horribly wrong, a warning about the whispers in the woods. Jared and his friends loved exploring the forest behind their neighborhood. It was their escape from the mundane, a world of trails and secrets. But there was one place they avoided, a clearing they called the Echo Grove. Legend had it that if you stood in the grove at night, you'd hear voices that sounded eerily familiar. One crisp autumn evening, Jared's friends dared him to go to the grove alone. Always the brave one, Jared laughed it off and grabbed a flashlight. "You guys are such babies," he teased. "I'll prove there's nothing out there." He made his way into the forest, the flashlight beam cutting through the dark. The deeper he went, the quieter it became. The usual chirping of crickets and rustling leaves seemed to vanish. When Jared reached the grove, the air felt heavy, like it was pressing down on him. The trees formed a perfect circle, their branches reaching toward each other like skeletal hands. He stood in the middle and called out, "See?" Nothing to be scared of. Then he heard it. "Jared!" It was his voice, faint but unmistakable, echoing from somewhere in the darkness. He froze, scanning the trees with his flashlight. "Who's there?" he called. "Who's there?" The voice mimicked, perfectly replicating his tone. His pulse quickened as another voice joined in, a woman's voice, soft and pleading. "Jared, come closer." The voice sounded like his mother's, but she was at home. She had to be at home. "Stop messing with me!" Jared yelled, stepping back toward the trail. But the voices didn't stop. They grew louder, overlapping, surrounding him. His friends' laughter, his father's scolding, even his own voice screaming in fear. It all swirled around him, coming from nowhere and everywhere at once. Suddenly, his flashlight flickered, and in the brief moments of darkness, he saw shadows moving between the trees. They weren't human, too tall, too thin, with eyes that glowed faintly in the blackness. The flashlight died completely, and the voices fell silent. Jared's breathing was ragged as he fumbled for his phone, desperate for light. Then, one final voice whispered right next to his ear, "Run!" Jared bolted, crashing through the forest, branches clawing at his arms and legs. He didn't stop until he burst into the safety of his backyard. When he told his friends what happened, they laughed nervously, but none of them ever dared him to go back. Weeks later, hikers reported hearing voices in the grove, voices calling their names, begging for help. Jared never set foot in those woods again, but sometimes late at night, he swears he hears his own voice whispering from the trees outside his window. Thanks for watching BooTube. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, some places aren't meant to be explored, and some whispers aren't meant to be heard. Beware.